What's going on, guys? Challenge here. Today we're going to be talking about some serious problems I have in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's going to be ranging from score streaks to spawning to maps to movements. We're going to be getting a lot in detail of what I kind of missed in my impressions video. Annotation of that on screen if you guys want to hear my basic thoughts of this beta so far. And if you guys want more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War videos, Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Destiny 2, or any other game you see on my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. So some of the things, I think the main thing I want to talk about specifically is the Scorestreak system. Now, I honestly love what they did. They reinvented the Scorestreak point system of how it just felt more enabling and rewarding based on different modes. So TDM was a big, issue that you couldn't get your score streaks. Some objective modes, it wasn't really rewarding you unless you were getting kills. So they kind of tuned it out, and I think it's in a great state in that regard. But there's a problem with the score streak system that they did this time around, and that's the fact that they don't reset on death. And I don't know what it is, but I've been running into a ton of score streak spam while playing this beta so far, and it's actually annoying. So in some cases before, it was kind of rare to get score streaks, and I thought it was, they needed to find a balance. But now that, they found a balance, you kind of realize that this no death resets your score streaks is a serious issue in this game. And if you guys hated the support streaks from Modern Warfare, you will definitely hate, well, Modern Warfare 3, you will definitely hate the score streak system in general in this game. It's just so annoying, so aggravating, and kill streaks, death, score streaks, whatever you want to call them, are just raining in from so many different directions. So yeah, they need to do something to fix that in that regard. But another thing I don't like at all is the spawning system. Now, this is going to lead later into the movement system, but they're using the spawn system because, they change it up where they're spawning you more in the middle of the map. So traditionally, you're spawning in a safe corner, outskirt of the map, and then you run in. But with the movement system, we'll talk about that soon, being kind of subpar and just feeling forever to get around, they said, you know what, the match flow is pretty bad. We need to get people in the action sooner, which this spawn system is making moves in good ways to get you into the action. Maps, games, whatever, everything is flowing much better in the beta than it did in the alpha. So Treyarch gets applaud on that one. But in many cases, I spawn in a position where I have to react instantly, and I'm dying with people looking at me. Power positions in Modern Warfare were designed to be kind of a thing in the maps. That's why some people don't, or a good portion of the community don't like Modern Warfare maps. I agree with power position being frustrating. I honestly like that strategy, but the way Treyarch designs their maps, they don't really keep in mind for the power position model. So in Satellite, there's times where I'm spawning by the dune, I get out and there's a guy behind the rock and he just lasers me right off the bat, and I didn't have a chance to react. So there's instances like that. And the spawning system, it's kind of repetitive in terms of being much more predictable than it is in traditional Call of Duty games. If you guys played Call of Duty for a long time, spawning is definitely something you are aware of. It's something you learn, but again, it's not perfect. Where they're generally going to be spawning from, but you don't know, like, they're going to be spawning right in front of you. I feel like in this game so far, I'm actually getting a lot of people off spawn, and if my team isn't performing well, they're catching me off spawn, and I don't like that at all. Now, another thing I want to talk about, I didn't really talk about too much later, or too much in my previous video, is the fact of the content itself. Now, we all know the production cycle for this game has been very stagnant. It's been very sketchy, nerve-wracking. It's a second year or second title in a row for Treyarch where their production has been messed up in some way. Black Ops 4, they realized the game they designed was horrendous, and they had to revert midway through production, and that's why there's a big mixed bag with Black Ops 4. And then in this game, Sledgehammer Games failed to produce a game getting past the prototype stage. Activision had to step in and say, Treyarch, you finish whatever crap this is and go on your way. So again, best of circumstances were not given to Treyarch at all, so they do need to, that does need to be counted, that does need to be addressed. But when it comes to overall weapons in this game, the beta usually tells us what we're going to be seeing in the game, and it's seemingly not a whole bunch. Now, there is some post-content release, obviously scheduled. It's free, at least from we know. We had a scare. We'll talk about that at the very end of the video. But again, we see 4 assault rifles, not much SMGs, not much sniper rifles. It just seems like we're taking many strides back from at least the weaponry and arsenal we got from Modern Warfare from launch. Now again, I'm not saying that Modern Warfare is a phenomenal game. You can disagree with me. I love that game. You can hate that game. But we can all agree that there is a lot of weapons in that game, even before the live service started kicking in, when we got the Growl, we got the Striker, and then obviously so on and so forth after that. So again, like, you don't have to agree that the Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a good game, but we can all agree that there's more weapons in that game on base, and that is something I do not like, because the gunsmith feature definitely helps, expand the depth of each gun. And with this, gunsmith, making some strides towards that Modern Warfare level. I don't think it's going to reach that. I don't know if it can or if it will, but it does give us more information on Modern Warfare. We're running into generally a content issue of just feeling it connected and entertained by the game itself. And I feel like the life cycle is actually in jeopardy for this title right off the bat. I feel like 2 months, people are going to love the multiplayer, and then they're going to vanish. Again, Modern Warfare, I'm still playing the multiplayer to this day. I enjoy it. I love it. I know a lot of people do still play it as well. So we got to wait and see what happens with Black Ops Cold War on that front. But another thing too, the movement system. They said they tweaked it. Again, I showed a side-by-side comparison. I'll probably see if I can do one better here on screen. But there's really not much difference. When you put in 80 field of view and you compare it to the field of view in the alpha, which was obviously 80, that's default standard in shooters, it wasn't different at all. Now, what Treyarch was doing, which honestly I picked up on and I was honestly being irked by a lot, is the, impression of you moving fast. Now, there's a difference of feeling fast and an impression of you looking like you're going fast. Now, feeling fast is definitely not the case in this game. I feel clunky. It does not feel good at all, especially when compared to Modern Warfare. Even though Modern Warfare wasn't super fast, but there was just an aspect of control, of fluidity that was ingrained into that movement system, and it just feels perfect. Now, in this regard, there's something missing. I can't find that detail, but one thing I did notice is that Treyarch is using a little bit of artistic tricks to give an hallucination to the player that they're moving fast, but they're really not. So, such things as ridiculous head sway when moving. Now, obviously here on screen, when you see me with this pistol, it's wobbling ridiculously, and this is honestly irking for myself, because again, when I walk, I don't personally feel like my head shakes this much. So for it to be doing this in a game, it's something that's uncomfortable, and it really sticks out to me. Now, when we're sprinting, it's more of a like heavy left and right. Like I'm like over exaggerating me like running. Like I'm like, I don't really know how to describe it. Like my right leg is going as right as possible, my left leg's going as right as possible. So like I'm going like left and right when running instead of just running straight. It just feels and looks weird. And if you guys look closely, you will see that there's actually a slight blur around the border of, the screen, the bottom half. I think maybe the top half, but specifically the bottom half. Now, again, I turn off motion blur, so this is definitely a lock blur that you're seeing here on screen. I'll do my best to showcase it. I don't know how much, YouTube will display it, especially with the fact that I'm not on a VP9 encoder for YouTube. So, again, quality-wise, I do not know if you guys are going to be seeing here on screen. But in general, guys, this is like a lot of the things I have an issue with in regards to Black Ops Cold War. Oh, now, another thing I almost forgot. It's like the biggest thing, and I'm going to get a little bit angry here. We have a hint. We have a tease of fucking supply drops in this game. Yes, I shit you not. There is a tease of fucking supply drops in this game. I'm going to show it here on screen. Now, again, it's important to mention that somebody did come out and state that this was, false, but I don't know. It's from an Activision rep. So read here this tweet on Charlie Intel. An Activision rep says in a statement that mention of reserves in Black Ops Cold War was an error and has been updated. Black Ops Cold War Battle Pass will work the same as the Modern Warfare system. Again, I'm sorry, it's Activision. I don't fucking buy that. I do not fucking buy it. Modern Warfare, you can argue and say that they had a hint, maybe them doing it and they performed over well and then they said screw it. But supply drops could be a way for Activision to recoup losses from this title. Again, a lot of people generally, from what I've been talking to, been seeing on the internet, they're not really optimistic of this game. I'm not going to say people don't like this game, but about 75% of this community has some reservations about this game. And you could probably say a hard 45% just despise this game. And I think I'm not in the 45%. I'm closer to that 45%. But again, usually, traditionally, it's kind of odd. A lot of people are not liking what Treyarch is showcasing so far. So again, Treyarch needs to do some massive work to this game. I don't know how they're going to do it. Honestly, don't think they're going to be doing it. I think this is something, especially with the movement system, we're going to have to grow accustomed to. It might piss us off, especially judging if Warzone gets changed. I don't want Warzone's movement system to get changed. If they do change that system, I do not know how I'm going to play this game. But again, we have to wait and see in that regard. But in general, let me know what you guys think about all these major issues I have with the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta. Are you guys sharing similar things? I know some people are having connection issues. I think those type of things and frame rate optimization, I didn't really want to talk about too much because, again, these are on PS4 basics or pros. I'm on a pro right now. Obviously, I'm excited to check out this beta on my PC, see how it performs on my PC. I've been mainly PC now. But again, we have to wait and see on the optimization and the connection issues. But I didn't really want to talk about that because, again, that is definitely a beta issue. These issues on hand are fixable issues, but some serious ones that we need to worry about with the launch of this title. So for more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War videos like this, definitely drop this video a like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've uploaded a bunch of videos regarding, Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare, Warzone, Destiny 2, and maybe a few other titles like Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons, but we'll wait and see on that regard. But with all that being said, hope you guys have a good one. Shannon here, and I'm out.